Hello, I'm Dr. Rob Young. I'm an organisational psychologist and a coach at a consultancy called TalentSpace, and I'd like to talk to you about power. Now, psychologists define power as the extent to which you feel in control of not only your own activities, but perhaps also the people around you. Now, no one clearly sets out to feel powerless, but people sometimes do. People both who might be junior contributors, as well as sometimes senior executives. For example, I sometimes work with managers who feel that they are being sidelined or pushed out of the organisation, or with job hunters who are going for interview after interview, but being rejected time and again, or with people who have had projects go wrong or who have been disappointed, perhaps not getting a promotion. And the problem is that when you feel powerless, it impairs what's known as your executive functions, your higher ability to think. So you may be less able to make plans, you may be more easily distractible, you may find it harder to focus when you're feeling tired or stressed. However, research finds that actually there's a way that you can increase your feeling of power and restore your efficiency. So you should just simply write about your value. So what is your top value? What is most important and meaningful to you in life? So let me ask you now, what is important to you in life? Maybe you might say it's your family. But when you say it's your family, do you mean your partner or your children, perhaps your siblings, your parents, or some unique combination of those? Perhaps your career is vitally important to you, but what do you get out of your career? Is it the fact that you're contributing to a greater good or the status that you get from it? Maybe you have something that you value from outside of work, perhaps your personal health and fitness, perhaps a cause, a community group, church, religion, spirituality, perhaps a sporting pursuit, perhaps the opportunity to exercise your creativity or autonomy. It could be anything. Now, the research suggests that you should simply write about what your most important value is and why it is so significant and meaningful to you, and spend just perhaps 3 to 5 minutes writing a few paragraphs. This may seem like quite a flimsy intervention, but actually several research groups all over the world have found that this can be surprisingly helpful. So job hunters who want to make a better impression can actually make a better impact. People who are giving presentations when they use this intervention, they become more memorable in the eyes of the audience. Negotiators help themselves to be more assertive. Or if you are feeling tired, for example, you can give yourself a boost and help yourself to forge on. Now, this is a fairly short-term intervention. The benefits are likely to last for perhaps hours or days at most. So in the long term, it's a good idea to think about building up your sources of power. There's a researcher in the States by the name of John Maynard. He's a professor at Kellogg Business School, who talks about 2 routes to building up your sources of power. So on the one hand, we have dominance, and on the other hand, prestige. So dominance is a set of tactics, so behaviors and language that coerce, manipulate, or even outright bully people. And unfortunately, I'm sure you can think of people who do use those methods to gain power. But prestige is about demonstrating genuinely valuable skills or knowledge to help your colleagues. So, if we think about dominance, it's about taking power from other people. But the problem with that is that it encourages people to undermine you, to try and take power back from you. Whereas if you go through the prestige route, so you are being genuinely helpful, you're trying to be creative, helping your colleagues, your customers, then people are giving you sources of power. And this may be the more sustainable way to build up your long-term base of power.